How to eliminate doubts and negative thoughts. Imagine you're about to give a crucial presentation and nervousness starts to creep in. You ask yourself, what if I forget my lines? Or, what if the audience doesn't connect with what I'm saying? These thoughts can feel like enormous barriers, but imagine turning that anxiety into a source of confidence and clarity. Today, we're diving into 10 inspiring lessons from Stoic philosophy that show us how to overcome doubts and negative thoughts, and more importantly, how to cultivate solid confidence. These lessons aren't just theories, they're practical tools that direct our focus to what really matters, balancing our emotions and clarifying our minds. Now, before we proceed, I invite you to join our journey. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share your experiences or questions in the comments. Your interaction is essential for us to grow together and continue bringing transformative content like this. Ready for this journey to the heart of emotional stability? Strategy 1. Self-Sufficiency as a path to serenity. Self-sufficiency is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, not just as a form of independence, but as a journey to achieve unshakable serenity and confidence. We all face doubts and negative thoughts that can erode our inner peace. As the philosopher Seneca said, life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. This teaches us that dedicating time to confronting these doubts is an essential investment in our quality of life. How can we then dissipate these clouds of uncertainty? It begins with accepting that doubts are natural, but should not govern our minds. Stoicism guides us to separate what is and isn't under our control. Thoughts may arise uninvited, but how we respond to them is our choice. Practice self-observation. When a negative thought arises, question whether it reflects reality or is just a ghost of unfounded fears. Epictetus advises us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Understanding that our perception shapes our reality is vital for cutting the roots of negativity. Additionally, the Stoic technique of premeditatio malorum, which involves visualizing adversities to prepare the mind, strengthens our resilience. This equips us to face doubts calmly when they arise. Cultivating gratitude is also crucial. By valuing our daily blessings, we shift our focus away from negative thoughts. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, think of how quickly all things vanish. This reflection helps us appreciate the present and reduce the impact of negative thoughts. Action is another key. Inaction feeds doubts and negativity. Deciding and acting, even in small steps, puts us on the path to building confidence. Facing daily challenges strengthens our autonomy. When negative thoughts persist, turn them into learning opportunities. Ask yourself, what does this thought reveal about my fears? How can I use it to grow? By adopting these Stoic pillars, detachment, self-observation, visualization, gratitude, and action, we begin to dissolve doubts and cultivate a life marked by serenity and self-confidence. The journey is continuous and requires dedication, but each step brings us closer to an existence where the weight of negative thoughts and doubts loses its hold on us. Strengthening our self-sufficiency and learning to navigate the waves of doubts and negative thoughts with Stoic tools paves the way for another powerful strategy: deepening knowledge. Wisdom not only clarifies but also empowers, transforming what were once uncertainties into pillars of confidence. Strategy 2. Turning knowledge into confidence. The pursuit of knowledge is an endless journey, a path that promises not only to dispel doubts and negative thoughts, but also to strengthen our confidence. We constantly face uncertainties and challenges that test our mental resilience. However, by adopting a continuous practice of reading and learning, we transform these adversities into growth opportunities. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that the soul is dyed by the color of its thoughts. Therefore, feeding the mind with uplifting knowledge and ancient wisdom is essential to shaping our life experience, allowing us to face storms with serenity. Continuous reading opens doors to the vast treasure of insights accumulated over the centuries, each page an idea acting as new weapons in our arsenal against doubt and negativity. As we explore the works of great philosophers, we realize that many of our worries are universal and timeless. Seneca, in his letters to Lucilius, advises us, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." This thought underscores the importance of maintaining an open and receptive mind, cultivating a spirit that is always young and growing. Doubts and negative thoughts are like clouds that can temporarily obscure the mind's clarity. However, by strengthening our intellect through reading, we dissipate these clouds, allowing the light of wisdom to shine brightly. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus on what is under our control and to serenely accept what is not, developing confidence that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. Imagine yourself as a navigator on the high seas. Without deep knowledge of navigation, you would be at the mercy of the waves and winds. However, with acquired skills and knowledge, you gain the ability to steer your ship firmly, regardless of adverse conditions. Similarly, by enriching our minds with continuous reading, we navigate life with greater confidence and purpose. By embracing the continuous practice of reading and learning, we build a solid foundation of knowledge that supports us in times of uncertainty. This foundation feeds our confidence, enabling us to face challenges with courage and determination. The wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that true strength lies in a disciplined mind and a serene heart, and by cultivating these attributes, we eliminate doubts and negative thoughts, developing confidence that accompanies us in all spheres of life. Transforming knowledge into a source of personal power prepares us to face not only uncertainties, but also the real obstacles that arise on our path. These challenges, often seen as barriers, are actually opportunities in disguise, ready to be transformed into springboards for even greater growth. Strategy 3. Transforming obstacles into opportunities. On the Stoic journey, we often encounter obstacles that seem to block our path. However, by adopting Stoic philosophy, we learn to see these difficulties in a new light, transforming them into valuable steps for our personal development and strengthening our resilience. This is the essence of the Stoic lesson. Every challenge is an invitation to reach deeper wisdom and enhanced inner strength. Facing challenges can initially bring frustration or discouragement. However, instead of succumbing to these emotions, the Stoics encourage us to ask, "What does this difficulty have to teach me?" Or, "How can I use this experience to my advantage?" These questions push us towards a growth mindset, where every obstacle is seen as an invitation to evolve. In addition to maintaining calm and composure in the face of challenges, Stoic philosophy values the practice of visualization. Before facing an obstacle, it's recommended to imagine the possible challenges and how they could be overcome. This mental preparation not only eases anxiety, but also arms us with proactive strategies, increasing our chances of success. Every obstacle overcome reinforces our confidence and resilience. It's essential to celebrate these victories, recognizing and appreciating each success. These moments of triumph nourish our spirit with joy and gratitude, vital energies to sustain our journey even in the face of ongoing difficulties. By approaching each challenge with a Stoic mindset, we not only survive life's storms, but also learn to dance in the rain. This practice not only enriches our life experience, but elevates us to new heights of wisdom and personal satisfaction. Cultivating daily responsibility. The first step to cultivating this responsibility is constant self-observation. We must always be attentive to our thought patterns and question their origins and validity. By becoming aware of how our minds work, we can start reprogramming our thoughts, replacing doubt and fear with confidence and possibilities. The practice of daily reflection is crucial. At the end of each day, take a moment to contemplate the day's actions. Ask yourself, what actions did I take that aligned with my Stoic values? Where can I improve? This exercise not only reinforces personal responsibility, but also promotes continuous growth and alignment with Stoic principles of self-improvement and integrity. Moreover, responsibility also involves recognizing and accepting the consequences of our actions. When things don't go as planned, Instead of seeking external blame, it's essential to look inward and consider how our own actions or inactions may have contributed to the outcome. This level of honesty and transparency with oneself is fundamental for true personal growth. Building bridges, not barriers. By taking responsibility, we're not isolating ourselves in a tower of self-control. We're building bridges with those around us. By modeling responsibility, we encourage others to do the same, creating a community of empowered and self-aware individuals. This is the true power of Stoic philosophy. It teaches us not only to be masters of our own lives, but also to inspire and elevate those around us. Therefore, by embracing responsibility in all areas of our lives, we not only eliminate doubts and negative thoughts, but also pave the way for a life of greater meaning and satisfaction. Just like a careful gardener, each conscious choice and deliberate action plants the seeds of a brighter and more resilient future. Mastering the art of rational decision-making. The ability to use reason instead of emotion to guide our decisions is one of the most valuable tools we have to face life's challenges. Stoic philosophy, with its unwavering emphasis on rationality, equips us to cut through the fog of uncertainty and emerge with solid and grounded confidence. The rational mind serves as a beacon, illuminating our path amidst the darkness of turbulent emotions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, offers a powerful reminder. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This essential reflection encourages us to reassess our experiences in a new light, choosing perceptions that strengthen rather than weaken us. Emotions, while an integral part of our human experience, are like passing storms that can divert our attention from our true goals. By embracing a rational approach, we maintain clarity and objectivity even under pressure. Seneca guides us with his words, "Man is affected not by things, but by the view he takes of them." This wisdom drives us to use reason to shape our perceptions and, consequently, our reality. Reason helps us discern the essential from the superfluous, guiding us in decisions aligned with our deepest values. When emotions take the wheel, we often act impulsively, regretting our choices later. With reason as our compass, we weigh the consequences before acting, avoiding regrets and mistakes. Paths to a serene life. Epictetus reminds us of a fundamental Stoic principle. Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather wish that what happens happen the way it happens, and you will go on well. By internalizing this teaching, we accept with serenity what we cannot change, focusing our energy on what is within our control. Using reason broadens our perspective, offering a wider and deeper view. In the midst of intense emotions, our vision narrows, but reason allows us to see beyond the moment, considering multiple alternatives and solutions. This expanded approach empowers us to make more informed and balanced decisions. By continually questioning our emotions and seeking rational grounding, we cultivate robust confidence in our ability to make the right decisions. This self-confidence sustains us in all aspects of life, providing a solid foundation upon which we can build a full and meaningful existence. By choosing reason over emotion to make decisions, we not only eliminate doubts and negative thoughts, but also develop a confidence that radiates through all our actions. Stoic philosophy invites us to maintain a clear and disciplined mind, facing life's challenges with serenity and determination. This is the true essence of living a life guided by reason, where every choice reflects our inner wisdom and discernment. Opting for decisions based on reason strengthens a solid foundation of self-confidence that sustains us in all spheres of life. This foundation allows us to face challenges with admirable clarity and serenity. However, to maintain this strength, it's also vital to recognize and celebrate each step that moves us forward in our journey. Celebrate small victories. Stoic philosophy, by teaching us that life is composed of a series of challenges and achievements, highlights the importance of valuing each moment of success. This appreciation helps eliminate doubts and negative thoughts, strengthening our confidence. The human tendency to focus more on failures than successes often obscures the small daily victories. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observes in his Meditations, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, recognizing and celebrating our small victories is essential for nurturing positive thoughts and building a virtuous cycle of self-confidence and resilience. Each small victory is a brick that contributes to building the foundation of our self-confidence. Every success, no matter how modest, reflects our capability and determination. Seneca, with his ever-insightful vision, advises us, "Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as not to injure future ones." This thought emphasizes the importance of valuing our present achievements while keeping our eyes on the future. Celebrating small victories helps us maintain a balanced view of life, providing strength and motivation to overcome challenges. Imagine a mountaineer climbing a mountain. Each meter conquered is a significant victory that brings him closer to the summit. By celebrating each progress, he maintains his motivation and confidence, even in the face of adversity. Similarly, by valuing our small victories, we cultivate a mindset of continuous progress, dispelling the doubts and negative thoughts that may arise along the way. Celebrating our small victories not only strengthens our self-confidence, but also develops a resilient capacity to face the challenges that arise in our path. This resilience is crucial when we encounter the inevitable need to adapt to changes, which leads us directly to the next essential practice in Stoic philosophy: flexibility. Be flexible. On the Stoic journey in pursuit of serenity and confidence, flexibility emerges as an invaluable virtue. Instead of resisting changes, the Stoics encourage us to adapt, using this ability to overcome doubts and negative thoughts. This adaptability is not a sign of weakness. On the contrary, it is a testament to wisdom and resilience. Just as a tree that bends to the wind during a storm is more likely to survive than one that remains rigid, we too can thrive by adapting to life's circumstances. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us that the art of living is more akin to wrestling than dancing, requiring constant preparation for the unexpected. This perspective encourages us to be flexible, adjusting our actions and thoughts as circumstances demand. Mental and emotional rigidity can trap us, preventing us from seeing alternatives and solutions. By opening ourselves to different ways of thinking and acting, we expand our potential for growth and success. Seneca reflects on the transient nature of life in his letters to Lucilius, emphasizing that it is not the length of life, but the depth. This view motivates us to remain flexible and adaptive, making the most of each moment, regardless of the changes we face. By practicing mental flexibility, we face uncertainties with an open mind, viewing unexpected challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. This approach allows us to maintain a positive and confident perspective even in difficult times. Think of a river flowing around rocks. It does not fight against the obstacles but finds ways to navigate around them and continue its course. By adopting a similar stance, we adapt to changes and overcome challenges without losing our focus or determination. Epictetus advises us to focus on what is within our control and accept serenely what we cannot change. This perspective guides us to adjust our expectations and actions to the realities of the moment, practicing flexibility that also nourishes our curiosity and openness. By exploring new approaches and shifting our perspective, we break down the mental barriers that foster doubts and negative thoughts, opening ourselves to a world of possibilities. Adopting flexibility not only helps us deal with life as it comes, but also thrive amidst constant change. Each challenge becomes a dance where we adjust our steps, maintaining balance and grace. By embracing this ability to adapt and thrive, we develop a confidence based on the certainty that we can face any situation with skill and assurance. As we cultivate flexibility, we prepare the ground for an equally vital complementary practice: avoiding futile complaints. This transition from actively adapting to embracing situations as they come without unnecessary complaints, reinforces our ability to live with serenity and confidence. Avoid futile complaints. Stoicism, a philosophy centered on prudence and self-control, guides us to focus our energy only on aspects of life that we can influence, serenely accepting those that are beyond our control. Eliminating purposeless complaints is crucial not only for conserving mental energy, but also for cultivating an optimistic and pragmatic worldview. Marcus Aurelius advises in his Meditations that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, a powerful reminder that useless complaints paint our life experience with shades of pessimism and discouragement. The tendency to focus on the negative and amplify small problems while ignoring possible solutions can be counterproductive. When we catch ourselves complaining, it is an opportunity to reflect and ask, is this within my control? Is there something productive I can do about it? Seneca encourages us with his words, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This inspires us to replace complaints with actions, transforming perceived obstacles into challenges to overcome. Stoic philosophy also teaches us the crucial distinction between what we can and cannot control. Epictetus, another Stoic sage, advises us to focus our energies on what is within our reach while peacefully accepting the rest. By practicing this discipline, we not only improve our efficiency, but also our emotional and social well-being, as constant complaints can poison our environments and relationships. By consciously choosing to avoid useless complaints, we create a more positive environment around us, strengthening relationships and promoting essential mutual support. Valuing the present moment and finding peace in current circumstances, we train our minds to focus on what is positive and constructive, eliminating negative thoughts and building confidence based on active acceptance and continuous growth. Cultivating a positive environment through self-regulation. By avoiding useless complaints, we adopt a more positive and proactive attitude towards life. This approach prepares us for another fundamental Stoic practice, limiting our passions. This concept goes beyond controlling complaints, aiming at broader regulation of our emotions and desires to achieve lasting inner balance. Stoic wisdom encourages us to moderate our passions, not just negative emotions, but also intense desires that can lead us astray from reason and distort our judgment. This teaching is a natural extension of the practice of self-control, an essential tool for cultivating a clear mind and a tranquil spirit. Passions, according to the Stoics, are excessive emotions and desires that disturb our soul and impair our ability to think rationally. Examples include uncontrolled anger, paralyzing fear, and insatiable desire. Limiting them does not imply repression or denial, but understanding their origins and regulating them through the conscious use of reason. Developing self-awareness and practicing introspection are fundamental steps to identify and understand our emotional triggers. By recognizing these triggers, we can begin to question the validity and usefulness of these emotions, considering whether they are proportional to the context that triggers them. The Stoic technique of emotional distancing can be particularly useful here. This practice involves visualizing emotions as if they were external events, allowing a more objective and less personal management of them. For example, instead of thinking, "I am furious," we can observe, "I am experiencing anger," helping to diminish the emotional impact and facilitate a more controlled response. Additionally, cultivating virtues such as temperance and courage helps combat excessive passions. Temperance teaches us to seek the middle ground between excess and lack, regulating our desires and impulses, while courage enables us to face fears and adversities with firmness and serenity. Regular practice of meditation and reflection also strengthens our ability to limit passions, providing moments of introspection that enhance our mental clarity and our ability to respond calmly to adversities. Limiting our passions not only improves our individual well-being, but also enriches our interactions with others. By managing our intense emotions, we interact more fairly and comprehensively, promoting more harmonious and meaningful relationships. Adopting the Stoic lesson of limiting passions is transformative, promoting not only a more centered and peaceful life, but also equipping us to face the challenges of the world with remarkable serenity and wisdom. This practice, along with avoiding useless complaints, forms a robust framework for living more deliberately and gratifyingly. After exploring the importance of controlling our passions to maintain emotional balance, it is natural to move on to a practice that expands this vision to continuous development and lifelong learning. The growth mindset, an extension of Stoic disciplines, encourages us to see every challenge as an opportunity to evolve. Develop a growth mindset. Stoic wisdom leads us to recognize that every situation, even those that seem to obstruct our path, has the potential to foster our growth. Marcus Aurelius inspires us with his view that the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This transformative perspective urges us to see obstacles not as barriers, but as steps to reach new levels of achievement. Adopting a growth mindset is like cultivating a seed in fertile soil. With proper care, this seed germinates, faces storms and strong winds, and always seeks the light. Similarly, by embracing a growth mindset, we face challenges with resilience and determination, dispelling doubts and negative thoughts that arise along the way. Stoic philosophy reinforces this approach by teaching us to focus on what is under our control and accept serenely what we cannot change. This perspective helps us to value every effort and recognize the importance of perseverance. As Seneca advises us, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. This is a reminder that learning and growth are continuous processes, regardless of the circumstances we face. Seeing failures not as defeats, but as learning opportunities is fundamental in this mindset. Every mistake is a valuable lesson that makes us wiser and better prepared for the future. This attitude helps us eliminate negative thoughts and develop confidence based on our ability to learn and evolve. Imagine a sculptor working on a block of marble. Every chisel stroke is not seen as an imperfection, but as an essential step to reveal the hidden work of art within the stone. Similarly, by adopting a growth mindset, we view each experience, no matter how challenging, as an opportunity to sculpt our best selves. Epictetus reminds us to accept serenely what is beyond our control and focus our efforts on what we can influence. This approach encourages us to value every step of the process and celebrate each small progress. By doing so, we strengthen our confidence and our ability to overcome challenges. By developing a growth mindset, we connect to a larger purpose and cultivate a passion for continuous learning. This enthusiasm drives us to face challenges with an optimistic and resilient outlook, knowing that each effort brings us closer to our larger goals. Finally, by embracing this mindset, we build a solid foundation of self-confidence that supports all areas of our life. This foundation is fueled by the certainty that we are capable of learning, adapting, and overcoming any challenge. Stoic wisdom guides us to cultivate an open mind focused on growth, eliminating doubts, and developing a confidence that shines in every aspect of our existence. By integrating these Stoic lessons into our daily lives, we not only confront our doubts and negative thoughts, but also build a foundation for deeper and lasting confidence. Each step we take, armed with these strategies, strengthens us and enables us to face challenges with a new perspective, transforming obstacles into true opportunities for growth and learning. Remember, the journey to overcoming uncertainty and building confidence is continuous and requires practice and dedication. But with the right tools and a growth-focused mindset, you are more than capable of achieving a state of inner peace and security. To all who have followed along this far, I have a special request. Comment below with the phrase, "Until the end," to show your commitment to this journey of personal growth. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give a like, and share this video with anyone you believe would benefit from these lessons. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.